Good Friday morning to you. I was thinking a lot about the church this last week. I was thinking about how church is so important in our society today. Often conversations that I have throughout the week are wonderful conversations. I have great insight that I glean from a lot of people. And then every once in a while, multiple conversations kind of come together in my head, and it creates this awareness that I didn't have in the moment of each individual conversation. Yesterday, I was talking with two friends about the importance of community, and we talk about community in the church, but we are suffering from a lack of community on so many different levels. Many people are working from home, which may be great and may be convenient for some, but for others who thrive on being in a community to challenge one another and to really flush out ideas, then being home alone maybe isn't the best thing. One of my friends said, we may not know the ramifications of what is happening now for quite some time, but she suspects it's going to be big. I think about that with our church. We have made church incredibly convenient. You can go online every day and get a devotional like you are watching right now. You can watch our services every weekend at your convenience. You can drink coffee and be in your jammies and never have to interact with another person outside of your home and still call it church. But I wonder, is this church? Is it church the way it was meant to be? It's a great alternative during this crisis, but we cannot neglect the importance of meeting together. Hebrews writes about that. It is so important for the body of Christ to meet together. And I was thinking about where the church began. Because for centuries, generations before Jesus, the church existed. And I feel like much of Jesus' ministry was actually deconstructing the church, changing what the current climate's idea of church was and recentering it on him. I believe this when I read the story of the crucifixion. And there's a moment, one of the words from the cross, as we often celebrate on Good Friday, there's a moment where I believe that Jesus reinstitutes the church. It comes out of the Gospel of John. It's in the 19th chapter, and it begins with verse 25. Meanwhile, standing near the cross of Jesus were his mother and his mother's sister Mary, the wife of Clopas, and Mary Magdalene. When Jesus saw his mother and the disciple whom he loved standing beside her, he said to his mother, "Woman, here is your son." Then he said to the disciple, "Here is your mother." And from that hour, the disciple took him into his own home. Up until that moment, the church had become rules and expectations, many of which no one could ever achieve. The church became rituals that lost the whole point of community. You know, if we go all the way back to the Israelites in the wilderness, we realize that on Mount Sinai, Moses received the 10 Commandments out of a love for community. God saw that the people could not live together in community because they had lost that sense, and so the 10 Commandments were given so we would know how to live with one another, so we would stop hurting one another. And somewhere between Mount Sinai and the current present time of Jesus, that was lost. That sense of community was lost, and it was replaced by the Mosaic Law. Instead of 10 commandments, now there were 613 commandments that people had to adhere to, washings that they had to go through in order to be clean to even enter into a sacred space of being in the presence of God. Religion changed, church changed, whatever you put as that word, it changed from what God intended. And yet at the foot of the cross, Jesus reinstitutes it. When you come together, you are no longer strangers, you are family. When you come together, you are the community that was birthed at the foot of the cross. That's what I believe the church is today, and I hope you do too. And I hope that however we gather now, we remember that. Now, we can't gather in person. It's not right. It's not fair for everyone. It's not safe. It's not comfortable. It's okay. But we can still be family, gathered together at the foot of the cross. How we reach out, by phone, by technology. How we come together, socially distanced with masks on. How we just support and care for each other during this time and every other time. That's what it means to be the church, all centered at the cross. When God is our center, when Christ is the center of all that we do, it's funny how God finds a way to make us the church, because God has already made us his people. So today's Friday. Hopefully it's been a great week of work for you. Hopefully you have enjoyed some of the beautiful weather, even appreciated the rains as they broke through the middle of the week. But now as you get ready for the weekend, as you get ready for all that you have planned this weekend, I hope at the center of all of your plans is the cross of Christ. And I hope more than anything that I get to see you there. Whatever that looks like, I hope we get to meet together, to care for each other, to support each other, to challenge each other. I hope we get to do that, because to me, that's what it means to be the church. And I can't think of a better way to be church together. Have a great day.